Hi, everybody. Welcome to WCAX Extra. This is our live desk streaming show that kicks off every day around 9:15. And as a lot of you out there know already, whether you're parents or students, this week is back to school week just for pretty much everybody in and around Vermont and all around our viewing area, of course. And that also includes college students and specifically those at UVM. So our Laura Ullman did a story last night talking about the demographics and specifically some of the changing demographics there, what the incoming class looks like compared to years past. So Laura, first off, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, John.
Great. And just to kind of kick us off here, I know you were at campus yesterday. You talked to a few kids out there and some nervous freshmen too, I add. But it's as far as what you heard and is from the university and stuff like that, what does this incoming class look like as far as the makeup goes, and what kind of sparked or spearheaded you kind of looking into the demographics at UVM?
Right, so UVM released a press release yesterday sort of highlighting the change in the amount of in-state students that they had, or the percent change since the last year, which they told me was 6% on top of an 8% increase from the year before. Something else that sparked my interest was that this is the first class that is starting after the end of affirmative action. So I wanted to see what that sort of federal policy change, how that showed up in UVM's class. So I went over and I got to talk to some freshmen on their first day, which definitely took me back, made me blush. How long it's been. And then I spoke with the university, and they sort of talked about how really there was a percent change from 6% more in-state students in that class. But it was really just a 1% change from last year. So there was the student makeup of the entire class of 2027 was, I believe, 18%. You have the notes with you, right? And then this year it's 19%. Yes.
Yep.
And so that sort of 1% change was also true for men who we have been seeing not go to college as much as women. That's in sort of a national demographic. But UVM made a conscious effort, they told me, to increase that number. So they went from 37% of their class last year as men, this year 38%. And then as well as Black, Indigenous, and people of color, which we thought was going to be the group most impacted by this federal change. The university told me, again, that it wasn't so much of a change. They went from 16% last year to 15% this year. And I don't have the exact racial makeup of that group, but if you look at MIT, there was definitely less Latino and Black students and more Asian students, but they haven't given me those numbers to see if that's happening here.
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking off of that, there was an interesting point, and I think it's about in-state students, especially with that in-state tuition, obviously a little bit cheaper, of course, and how that would affect some of the the staff and faculty at the University of Vermont. What's that kind of look like, and if in any that what do you know so far?
Yes, so in-state tuition is cheaper than out-of-state tuition. And in-state students whose families make below a certain income go to UVM for free. So it does cost the university some when or definitely they don't make as much money when there's more in-state students. So I have been following University of Vermont Staff United, who have been asking desperately for greater salaries, but the university has told them that really they can't afford it. So I was wondering if by enrolling more in-state students, especially low-income in-state students, is that having an effect on the salaries of UVM staff and support staff? And they did not know, or they deferred my question, or the admissions person I spoke to, Moses Murphy, referred my question to the chief financial officer, and I reached out, but you have to understand that I work the night shift. I got off last night at midnight, so I sent that message probably around 4:30 in the afternoon, and obviously they couldn't get back to me in time, but I want you guys to know I'm asking those hard-hitting questions for you guys, but we didn't get an answer.
Yeah, timing's always always a factor to keep in mind, and you know, I especially know that myself with the morning shift, and people don't operate at my hours. So, but yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. Of course, we'll follow up on that, and hopefully we can figure that. It's kind of on the weeds, of course. But Laura, thanks for hopping on again. We'll show your pack in just a sec too. I know there's a lot more numbers in there, and I also like that we can iron out in there too as well. So. But that being said, it's going back to your point too. I'm just feeling old. I was the class of 2016, or I was the class of 2020, and especially with a lot of back to school. We had some back to school photos this morning, and it's actually 20 years ago. I think we had them. So it was like I was like a kindergartner. So that in mind, especially college now is what 2028, 2020.
Yeah, that's nuts. I feel so old and yet so young.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy the package, guys. The numbers will be on the screen, so it'll make it easier for you to understand.
Yeah.
And thanks for having me, John.
Yeah, Laura, thanks so much for hopping on and shedding some light, and we'll show that in just a sec. So, thanks.
Bye, guys.
And that was our Laura Ullman there. Just talking about, I think I'm on the mirrored image of myself. Look at that. Oh. That was Laura Ullman kind of just, shedding some light on a story that she had done yesterday with kind of the UVM class breakdown, how that looks from the years prior. And again, we kind of spoke a little generally here, but we'll pull up her thing with some more exact numbers of what that looks like for the University of Vermont. But here we go.
It's the first day of class at the University of Vermont, and students are hustling and bustling about. There's a new class of incoming freshmen, and I'm here to find out who makes up the class of 2028.
I feel really good. It was a long day. We had a couple of different classes, but overall the community is really great here, and it's a beautiful day out, so it's been good.
Sienna Stanley and DJ Murphy are freshmen on UVM's cross-country team. Some might call them rookies.
I was kind of nervous, but after knocking out 4 classes, I can say I'm looking forward to the year.
They're part of a class of roughly 3,000 students, with demographic changes influenced by the Supreme Court's decision on affirmative action and the admission office's active choice to make their class 19% Vermont residents. 38% of the class is male. The university says each of those demographics is up 1 percentage point from last year.
Are declining numbers of Vermont graduates and even smaller numbers of college-bound Vermont graduates. So to see that growth, again, is near and dear to my heart and something I'm excited about.
It was the University of Vermont's first class after affirmative action ended nationwide. According to Moses, those who identify as Black, Indigenous, people of color make up 16% of UVM's class of 2027. UVM's class of 2028 is 15% BIPOC.
We did see a small decrease, but I think we're pleased with where we landed with regards to the makeup of the class.
Moses said he did not have information readily available about the specific racial makeup of that 15%.
We work so hard in enrollment management and in admissions to recruit students and to enroll them. And it is days like today, the first day of classes, where you get to see the fruits of that hard work come to fruition.
When I asked Murphy whether or not the increase of in-state students and in-state tuitions would affect the salaries of UVM staff, he did not respond to the question and deferred me to the CFO, who has not responded yet to our request for an interview. Reporting in Burlington, I'm Laura Ullman, Channel 3 News.
Well, Peter, you feel old. I do. I feel a little old.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly that can happen.
Yeah. Class of 2020, was it 2028? Is my math right? Yeah, 2028. Yep. So, definitely a little jarring. I was a COVID. We were both COVID. Right?
Yeah,
2020, COVID graduate. So
COVID grads.
I actually still have my cap and gown in the shrink wrap.
Yeah,
I graduated. I just didn't. We didn't have. I do have my college degree, but we just didn't take the walk. So.
I don't. So I never got a cap and gown.
Yeah.
Because at that point I was like, well, if it's never going to come out of the shrink wrap, I'm just going to get it refunded and call it a day.
Well, I think at a time too. I think when not to delve way too into it, but we had a graduation 2 years after.
Yep.
And I was already working in news, not here.
Yeah.
couldn't go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, same. I think a year or two after, and
Yeah.
I was in Duluth, Minnesota,
Yeah.
and did not have
Yeah.
the PTO to
Yeah.
travel back to Linden,
Yeah.
Vermont.
yeah, but all the graduates out there, or not graduates, kids starting and
Yeah,
stuff like that. so
starting.
definitely,
Speaking of starting, should we
right,
should we
yeah.
go over to this?
yeah. This is it's me. Had to go in the scrapbook archives. Thanks, Mom, for this. I think this is 2003, 2004.
I can't believe how dapper you look.
It's a lot of hairspray, Peter.
This so is this like the first day of kindergarten or?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually there's no product in my hair right there. That's just hairspray and a lot of it. And of course, I didn't pick out these outfits. It's more for moms and stuff like that. So let them have their day. All you young kids out there, just cooperate. But yeah, first day of school. I think about 20 years ago.
And here is me.
Wow.
Same time frame,
Yeah.
probably. First day of kindergarten, complete with a Hawaiian shirt, I guess. And we were talking about this on the morning show. It seems like every New England kid at one point had an LL Bean backpack, except for you, I guess.
So I guess so. My thing is, I'll have to fact check before I spread anymore. I don't know. I don't think I had an LL Bean backpack. I know for sure I never had the lunchbox.
Okay.
I was not a lunchbox
Yep.
kid. I always had a brown bag. I think in hindsight it was probably more or less so I didn't lose it. I
Yeah.
just throw it out. So
It's funny how quickly those
Yeah.
can go missing.
yeah, but but yeah, no, definitely everyone had an LL Bean bag.
Yeah, it
probably.
really, I
Yeah.
mean, I think, yeah, you can see here, mine complete with a moose on it, and I think you can even barely make out my name up top there. So,
Love it.
Yep, we'd all, hard to believe that we're going back to school already, but you know
Yeah.
what? Today going to feel actually really summer-like out there, as a matter of fact. So, while we are going back to school, starting to shift into a more of a early fall pattern, if you will. A lot of us talking about some very summer-like weather here as we head through the course of the day today. Here is the view on satellite and radar right now. Not a bad start to our Tuesday morning out there. We're talking dry, sunny conditions. The view from Mount Mansfield right now, not looking too bad. And we'll talk about a fairly nice day ahead of us. Here's the view from the Burlington waterfront. Got a good amount of sunshine out there. Temperature already up at 70 degrees as of the 9 o'clock hour, Winds out of the south between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Pressure sitting at 30.12 inches and hanging steady. 60s and 70s on the board right now. And for the most part, we're going to be talking about low to mid 80s here as we head towards this afternoon. Really just thanks to the fact that we're going to be talking a good amount of sunshine out there. Here it is, 2 o'clock on Futurecast. You can see we roll through Futurecast through the duration of the day today. Hardly anything to talk about, even in terms of cloud cover out there. That does begin to change, though, as we head towards tonight. Clouds begin to fill in here through the course of the night tonight. That gives way to a few rain showers. These rain showers are part of a cold front that will begin to clear through the region here as we head through the course of your day on Wednesday. Waking up tomorrow morning, still waking up to a few leftover rain showers out there. We're kind of dodging a few on and off rain showers here, especially through the first half of the day tomorrow. Then as we head towards tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, skies begin to clear, sunshine begins to emerge here as we head through the second half of your day for the day tomorrow. Dew points out there right now, upper 50s, lower 60s. One thing that cold front's going to do is it's going to begin to knock down the dew points. So while the humidity becoming a bit more noticeable right now, take a look at what happens as we head through the course of the day tomorrow. Dropping from the 60s back down into the 50s, even into the 40s by the time we get into the early morning hours here for the day on Thursday. So it's going to knock down the dew points. It's also going to knock down the temperatures back down into the 70s here as we close out the rest of the second half of the work week and head into the upcoming weekend. Maybe you're heading out to the Champlain Valley Fair later this afternoon. Not looking too bad. A good amount of sunshine out there. Temperatures will start in the 80s, gradually falling back into the 70s here as we head towards this into the later evening hours tonight. Daytime highs here for today, as I mentioned, low to mid 80s, plenty of sunshine overhead today, shaping up to be a very summer-like day out there. Tonight, overnight lows, they fall back into the 60s. Some of us maybe not even getting out of the lower 70s here tonight. Mainly cloudy skies overhead, those clouds giving way to a few rain showers here as we head through the course of the night tonight. A few of those rain showers stick around here through the first part of your day tomorrow. Then clouds start to clear, sunshine emerging. Take a look at what happens to our temperatures, though, as that cold front clears through the region. Most of us start off the day in the 70s. We end the day in the 60s as we head towards later tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. But one thing after that cold front, take a look at Thursday and Friday, just looking like really, really nice early fall days out there. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Then as we head into the first part of the Labor Day weekend, there is the chance of a few rain showers Friday night and into the day on Saturday. All things considered at this point, Sunday and Monday, I don't think are looking too bad out there. Maybe just kind of dodging a few leftover passing rain showers here for Sunday and for Labor Day itself on Monday. But really, right now, the 7-day forecast not looking too bad, especially the second half of this week.
Yeah, no, Peter, the thing I like about this time, I guess nobody really likes going back to school. I think maybe some people are excited, I think there's always, you have those 3 days or a few days before Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
So you kind of get that nice ease into back to school, then a nice long weekend, and they're really into the full.
The more I thought about it, I always went back to school I think the Wednesday before Labor Day.
That's what I mean. It was always 3 days.
Yeah, it was a 3-day week, and then it was you have a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
And then that Tuesday you returned. It was
it was kind of nice.
You're truly back in the swing of things then.
Yeah, and the thing is too, now we have the Champlain Valley Fair.
Yep.
Too. So if you're still clinging on to summer a little bit, head out there.
And if you are clinging on to summer, the weather really looking pretty nice.
And that being said, too, we are going to be there. I don't know, not me specifically, but we have a booth at the Champlain Valley Fair. Come by, come say hi. I will probably go back at some point this week. I got to put my name in the schedule. But I think today, Cam Smith.
And I think I'm probably going to head out there and do the live weather for noon out there later today, just because the weather is looking so nice. So might as well get out and about and enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Our whole team's headed out there, and we'll be live tonight, of course, from our coverage there as well. So definitely a lot of fun and stories. You can tune in for that. And again, kind of just come swing by, because we'd love to say hi.
Absolutely.
Grab a magnet, too. I'm a big fan of the new magnets.
Those magnets are nice. Yeah.
They're like license plate magnets. Anyway, come see us. And if you don't see us there, you can see us at the noon, WCAX.com, and all of our evening shows as well. So I'll let you guys get to it, get after it, and we will see you at noon. So take care.